If you filled up your car today or over the weekend, you know that gas prices are still climbing. As of today, the average price in the Tampa Bay area is $3.35 a gallon. That's 26 cents more than a week ago, an even bigger jump from a year ago. And as our Brad Davis reports, tourists pay the price too, and some are concerned about the long drive home.
People who are pouring into the Bay Area for the nice weather are being met with eye-popping gas prices. In just a few short days, prices have quickly soared.
Every time we go by a gas station, we talk about it, for sure.
Janet and Bill Culp are vacationing from Canada. They're heading back north next week and are growing concerned about escalating prices and the amount of money it'll cost them to drive home.
I'm retired, and Jan is retired, and we're both, limited to the amount of money that we have available. So, yeah, it's going to be a strain.
For other tourists, it means altering your already budgeted vacation money.
If it's going to cost me almost twice as much as I thought it was going to cost, I will definitely spend a little less while I'm down here. It's, you budget for a week, and gas prices certainly affect that.
Businesses along Clearwater Beach may not be feeling the fuel effects just yet, but they're certainly keeping a watchful eye, considering peak spring break season is right around the corner. Bill Barry, who just finished relaxing on the beach, takes a rather laid-back approach regarding his drive home to Kentucky.
Yeah, it's going to cost us a lot more, I guess, to get back.
Does that bother you?
Yeah, it does, but there's not a lot we can do.
One less grouper sandwich while you're here?
Yeah. A lot less grouper sandwiches.
Brad Davis, ABC Action News.
If you want to find the cheapest gas near you, all you have to do is go to abcactionnews.com/gas prices and put in your zip code.
Well, if you think rising gas prices are bad, truck drivers say it's only going to get worse.
Prices for everything from diapers to ice cream may soon spike. Larry Seward is live in Kansas City with details. Larry?
Elizabeth, the prices you and I pay at the pump seem to rise daily. The price here is $3.19, but that's not nearly as much as the cost of diesel, the fuel truckers use. And they say prices are cutting into profits. So guess who's going to pay?
The drivers parking tractor trailers cannot take their eyes off the price of fuel. A full tank of diesel just cost someone more than $340.
What the hell's going on? Glad I'm not paying it.
Well, you think about, the company's going to make some kind of cut somewhere, or then the bottom line, how's it going to affect me?
For Robert Sutherland,
this call comes out of my profit line.
He owns and operates his own trucking business, hauling everything from ice cream to diapers nationwide.
If they can get it in the trailer, you haul it, yeah.
So long as he can afford it. In the last week, U.S. energy officials say the average price of fuel rose 20 cents, meaning truckers
you drive more economical, you drive slower.
Price hikes happen so often, Sutherland logs each increase and keeps tabs on every state's tax rates, strategically planning fuel stops, and he's not alone.
We have to make sure we watch our fuel mileage, make sure we watch our idling time, because the bottom line, it all costs us, comes back to the company, then in the end, it may even cost us.
Our company pays for the fuel, but they're going to have to raise the prices up just to be able to keep me running.
Sutherland admits he gets a fuel surplus from some customers, but it comes with a price.
If the customer's paying us, they're charging you for your loaf of bread or your chicken or whatever it is that you buy.
So customers better hope truckers' pain at the pump quickly moves toward their rearview mirrors.
Now, for some perspective here, truckers tell me that gas prices were actually worse 2 years ago, topping $5 in some places. This time around, the peak is around $4, but they say back 2 years ago, freight rates were actually higher, so the increases that are happening now actually hurt them more. Some researchers, though, suggest that those freight rates will actually rise some 5% by the end of this year. We're live tonight in Kansas City. Larry Seward, NBC Action News.
Mike Nelson's commute to Washington, D.C. just got a little bit worse and a lot pricier.
I think it's ridiculous. 1 week, it's $2.30 or $3.38, and it goes up. I mean, it's gone up at least 40 cents since the last week.
With gas prices hitting more than 2-year highs, in some cases almost $5 a gallon, paying at the pump can be crippling. Everything is being affected from private to public transit. Just ask the cab drivers.
Last Monday and this Monday, I've already spent about $85 on gasoline. Usually it doesn't cost that much, maybe about $40, $50.
Gas price up, taxi driver too much problem, not good business.
Volatility in the oil market has prices at the pump surging, some of it fueled by uprisings in the Middle East and Northern Africa. But experts say prices have been inching up even before then, and it will most likely get worse.
The problem is we simply consume much more oil than we produce at home, and in terms of gasoline, almost a huge proportion, almost 70%, is imported. So this is the real dilemma we have. We can't do anything to change this overnight.
President Obama is under pressure to prevent an economic slowdown just when the U.S. is witnessing encouragement from a slowly improving economy. He's strongly considering tapping into the nation's vast oil reserves, but experts say this move is overrated and should be reserved for emergencies.
We should not be subsidizing fossil fuel consumption, in my humble opinion, because we will use the economy to rather conserve this resource and treat it as such.
The last time the U.S. siphoned oil from its reserves was in the weeks following Hurricane Katrina, a move that drove oil prices down by about 9%. But with high demand coming from India and China, tapping reserves may hurt the U.S. in the long run.
It would be a shame, in my view, to draw it down now, have the crisis spread to some of the major oil-producing states in the Gulf, and then not have that as a buffer when we face a real shortage. Right now, we're not really facing, and it's hard for people to believe, but we're not really facing an absolute shortage.
Experts say we should expect higher gas prices for a while. Barrels of oil are expected to stay in the triple digits into the near future, not something that drivers in the U.S. will likely get used to. Colin Campbell, Press TV, Washington.
Hello everyone, welcome to Global Government News. Today is Tuesday, March 8th, 2011, and I'm Darko. Welcome to this news bulletin, everyone. Please visit my website, www.ggnonline.com, ggnonline.com. I posted this poll up here probably, 2 days ago, and it is, how do you feel about the unemployment figures? And an overwhelmingly majority said, we aren't getting the truth, unemployment is worsening, 85%. And then the next, of course, is not much change. So you can go in there and you can, if you're new to my website or new to my videos, you can check out my news archive. All my videos are there. You can donate right there, donate button. You can subscribe by entering your email, and it's delivered by FeedBurner. You can follow me here on my blog on eBlogger, or you can go down on Facebook and you can join me here. Wow, I've actually gotten 3 more people since the last time I went in there and checked that. So that's cool. You can check that out. And we're going to move forward into the economy here. We're going to start with the economy, and then the next video we'll get into the Middle East and war of terror. And then, of course, into Big Brother and eugenics and anything else that follows. Financials spark broad stock rally. And it says here, financial shares boosted U.S. stocks Tuesday, with all 3 major indexes gaining more than 1%. Easing oil prices lended further support. Crude prices retreated following reports that Libyan leader Muammar Gaddafi is working to step down and exit the country safely. So, Euro slips on worries about debt-laden countries. The euro slipped against the dollar for a second day on Tuesday as investors considered what higher Eurozone interest rates will mean for peripheral euro nations already struggling with fiscal problems. Then we move on to the dollar. The dollar bounces as oil falls. The dollar rose as falling oil prices momentarily alleviated fears of a global energy crisis and boosted demand for the U.S. currency. Then we move on to commodities from Bloomberg. And looking at it right here, we have the heating oil is down. Most of them are all down. Natural gas is down, and then Brent crude is trading at $113 a barrel, but it's down almost $2 a barrel. So, and then we look up here, cocoa's down. Coffee's still going up. It's up $6 a share. And then move down here to the wheat futures, down $19 and $24 a share. And let's see here, copper's up 20 cents, $432, and then gold, $1,427 per ounce. It's down almost $7. And then we look on the silver here, and it's right now it's still at a record $35.83 for silver per ounce, and it's down almost 3 cents. So the links will be posted for all these videos, so I recommend going and checking them out. It says here gold drops below 1430 as oil declines. We just covered that. And then we have this. Saudi Arabia's Day of Rage lures record bets on $200 oil chart of the day. So it says option traders are betting more than ever that the crude oil is heading to $200 a barrel, as some websites call for a, quote, Day of Rage in Saudi Arabia, right? And what did I say in that last set of news videos 2 days ago was that the Day of Rage, what is that? It's a mind control. It's a mind control. It's a programming buzz term that's used to create violence. And what is this going to do? Like I said, there will be a lot of people that will profit from this, but most average people will, will be feeling the hurt from it in the form of higher gas prices. And anti-government protests spread in the Middle East and North Africa. So then we have Roubini sees double dip for advanced states if oil hits $140. The economists who predicted the global financial crisis said an increase in oil prices to $140 a barrel will cause some advanced economies to slide back into a recession. Like I guess technically, if you look at the numbers, yeah, we were out of a recession. There was, quote, growth. But the jobs just aren't there. They're just not hiring. In the U.S., we're just not hiring enough to really call it a recovery. A lot of people still can't get loans. Most people aren't going to be able to get, home loans or be able to modify them. So definitely not the same. We're pretty much still in a recession. And now we have these high oil prices, which will be perfect for the carbon tax because they're going to come back again this year and propose another, the carbon tax like they're doing in Australia, and the higher gas prices will help, support that. OPEC mulls boosting output. Iran sees no need. So OPEC is in talks about boosting oil supplies, Kuwait's oil minister said on Tuesday, but many in the group remain skeptical, saying world supply is comfortable despite the loss of Libyan crude, while the profits are comfortable. That's It says here, White House eyeing strategic petroleum reserve as oil prices rise. President Barack Obama, or Bears Toro, whatever you prefer, Chief of Staff says the administration is looking at the nation's oil reserves as it considers options for dealing with the spike in oil gas prices. Federal Reserve, Fed's Lockhart oil shock could lead to quantitative easing 3. I don't think it could be anything that's going to lead to QE3 because you know what's going to be coming, right? Just because the way the economy is going right now, it's not sustainable, and they will need to constantly or continually pump basically money. It's not even really money, it's just fiat digital currency that doesn't really exist, and they're just going to pump that into the economy, right? And it's just going to make it all the worse, right? Because as food prices are going up, like you said, and I've mentioned this before, when the gas prices go up and diesel prices go up, food prices and everything else, services will all go up. So you not only have inflation, but now you have this oil debacle, and then that's going to cause all the prices to go up too. So you're talking about twofold price increase. And that's what people are starting to they're starting to see it now, you know what I mean? It's in the forefront of their mind. So, American Idol can only occupy their mind, for so long. Kohl's accused of hiking petrol price to pay for cheap milk, and it says here Kohl's to be squeezed by Senate committee. Allegations prices lifted to pay for cheap milk. Kohl's will be forced to answer whether it is conning customers by hiking up the cost of petrol to pay for slash milk prices. Then we have, and I know that's going on because here in the city that I live in, it's a small city, but still, I just drive 5 minutes across the city and I see a 10-cent price difference. So Hoyer says federal budget may not be balanced for 20 years. U.S. home values have fallen past the housing crisis. Housing crashed back to 2003 levels. Underwater mortgages rise as home prices fall. British families suffer extra tax burden. It says here, NHS cuts are managers' top priority for the year end. Talk about the health service in the UK. Backroom police officers to lose £4,000 a year. Backroom officers are to lose up to $4,000 or pounds a year, so those serving on the front lines can earn more. Under proposals for the biggest shakeup in policy pay for 3 decades. Then big payday for some Hill staffers. Departing members of the House of Representatives awarded millions of dollars in extra pay to aides as they closed down their offices. And then we have carbon tax advertising campaign. Prime Minister Gillard hasn't ruled out launching a taxpayer-funded advertising campaign to better sell her carbon tax that the people don't want. and that's why she's over in America trying to figure out how do you guys do it. Representative Waxman, climate change is a moral issue comparable to civil rights, kind of like healthcare, right? So please join me in part 2 of this news bulletin. This is GGN, and I'm Darko. Thank you.